Well, we're going to continue on with the same scene setup that we had before, and I have it paused currently. So a couple controls that we have is we have pausing the current rendering, we can start the current render, and then we can actually restart the render and erase all of the samples and go right back to the beginning and start re-rendering the scene. Right now this scene is rendering in a direct lighting preview kernel. So this is not as high quality as what Octane is capable of. This would be more akin to a traditional ray tracing setup, so that we have a couple bounces and some ambient occlusion, but it's not completely unbiased. So one of the things that we can adjust is we can adjust how many specular bounces to collect and how deep the glossy depth is. We also can adjust the AO distance, and to better see that we can turn it on to clay mode, and as I bring the AO distance back, if I get below 1 I get nothing, so I need to have at least 1.0, and that'll affect the amount of shadows that we get. And as you increase it up, you can see that it gets darker as it starts to bounce more and you get a deeper depth in the AO distance. So we can adjust those parameters and create a very nice render, but it's not as realistic as it would be as if we were to change this to the path tracing. So if you want a really high quality output, we would change this to path tracing, and that's where we're going to get all of the beautiful bounces and the very rich rendering quality, looking very realistic. The max depth, we can adjust that. The smaller it is, the more biased it is. If we increase it and go deeper, then we're going to get more bounces throughout the scene, but in all practicality, the rays don't bounce any deeper than about 16 bounces. We also can turn on a filter which will help us to reduce jagged edges for aliasing, and that comes at a small performance hit. There are some ways that we can go around that are described in the forums, that if you had a very large image, we can do it without the filter button and then just resample down. So now that we've got this rendering, when you're done, unfortunately there's a little button, there's a couple cool buttons that are right here for registered full licensed versions, as you can save your rendered image directly to an image file. There are also two buttons. One is a one-click turntable animation sequence, so if we were centered on this red chess piece, we could click the turntable animation and it would create a smooth animation around this chess piece at whatever speed we'd like. There's also a daylight simulation sequence, so we can set the start and the stop position of the sun and let it render through an animation without even having to set anything up in a modeling application. Those are directly related in Octane. One of the things that's nice is you've noticed I've been using multiple GPUs. By having multiple GPUs, one set for the display and one set for Octane, your operating system is completely fluid. As you can see, I can go through and whip through the interface in Windows 7 here, and there's absolutely no delay. Everything works perfect, and yet I still am making a lot of samples here in Octane Render. So I would implore you to investigate potentially not only buying Octane Render, but to get that type of speed increase with a traditional renderer, you'd have to add a render farm. But for the small price of just adding a second video card to your system, you have a completely fluid computer system and a very high performance in rendering right in a single computer. It's a great technology. So thank you so much for checking out this tutorial series on how to work with the Octane Render Demo Suite, and we hope that you decide to become a customer of Refractive Software. Thanks.